I received a flyer in the mail from the UCLA School of Engineering on about February time frame of 1993. And in it, it had that Ben Rich would be speaking on the UCLA campus to the engineering alumni, and please RSVP. I shared that notice with my friend Tom Keller, who also graduated from UCLA Engineering School about 10 years prior to myself. And Ben, being the past CEO and chairman of Lockheed Skunkworks, was like a dream come true. So I said, Tom, you won't believe I got this letter in the mail. Let's go see it. Here's the flyer. But we showed up. It was in the Alumni Center, and about 200 engineers were there, a polite little buffet, and we sat down for a presentation where Ben took us through his 40 years at Lockheed Skunkworks. Starting out with the U-2 spy plane, he did it all in slides, through the SR-71, which made him famous, all the way up through the F-117, which had been announced like 10 years prior to this date. I think it had come out in the early 80s. And so there was a 10-year gap of nothing there. And he kind of alluded to the Aurora, but he kind of joked about it, right? But when he finished his talk, there was a slide of a black disc zipping off into outer space. And he ended the talk with these words: "We now have the technology to take ET home." And the entire place busted up laughing. And Tom and I are looking at each other thinking, don't they understand what this man just said? About 25 of us ran up to see Ben, right? As normal speakers, you have people gather around the speaker at the end. And we started asking questions, polite questions at first, but then finally some lady said, "Tell us about this technology that goes to the stars." But he said, "Let me ask you something." He says, "Do you think it's possible to travel to the stars?" And the engineer took like 3 steps back, like, "Why are you asking me this question?" And he said, "Well, yeah, it'd just take a long time to get there." Ben Rich said, "No, it won't. There's an error in the equations." And we figured out what it was, and we now know how to do it. But then he abruptly looks at his watch and said, "I've got to go." And he starts walking out of the thing. And I start following him out to his car. And I said, Mr. Rich. And he turns around and looks at me like, "Who are you?" And I said, "Hi, I'm Jan Harizan." I said, I'm alumni. I really appreciate your talk. You did a great job. I said, "You said some very interesting things." I said, "I've always had a fascination with propulsion systems." I said, "Can you tell me anything about how this propulsion system works that goes to the stars?" He said, "Well, let me ask you a question. How does ESP work?" Pulled the first thing that came into my mind. I said, "I don't know. All points in space and time are connected?" He said, "That's how it works." Turned around and walked away. Now, I don't know if he was saying that my answer was right, or he was just saying how it works is how ESP works. So he wasn't definitive on that, but I sensed that my answer was probably what he was looking for. And he didn't spend any time trying to explain it to me. He just said it and left.